you look at my videos, often I dress very ethnically to emphasize that colonization still exists in our brains. They colonized our brains. They conditioned us to see white people as the most beautiful, the most intelligent, the most classy. Therefore, we need to, look like them. If we want to be attractive or seen and treated like we're higher class, we need to look more like white people. Okay, this needs to stop. This needs to stop. We need to dress more. We need to display our heritage. And the groups that really inspire me, or like the ones that I'm not worried about, are black people, especially not men, black women. They display with their, colorful attire and their hairdos and their chunky jewelry. It shows me pride in their heritage. Also Indians, those from India and Pakistan. Not so much Asians anymore, unfortunately. Not so much Arabs, of course, unless we're talking about religious Muslims, especially men. I do say it. Veiled women. It's a way of honoring your background. So yeah, it's really beautiful, and we need to fight against this, you guys. This cannot be overlooked, and it shouldn't seem to you as trivial. And I couldn't stress more that we need to stop. If you are an indigenous person, meaning you're not European, you're not American, and when I say American, I only mean white Americans. If you're not white American and if you're not European, therefore you're indigenous and your ancestors were colonized, you need, as advice from me, do not read English books. Do not read European books. Do not listen to their music. Do not watch their movies. Do not slobber over their celebrities and obsess about their celebrities. We need to put them in their place. It's just a nation like any nation. It's just an ethnicity like any ethnicity. Do you think white Americans obsess about Middle Eastern singers? Do you think as a man from Switzerland reads books from Saudi Arabia? No. The answer is no. And us being influenced by their culture, the Western culture, is us humiliating ourselves. It's us submitting to the colonizer. Especially if you're a man. If you're a man, your testosterone, your male hormones should stop you and prevent you from submission. Submission is a very feminine quality. So if I, as a woman, can display this rebellion against colonizers and colonizing culture, what's your excuse? What's your excuse as a man? As a man, you are the one that should rebel. You're the one that should feel like it's icky to submit. So your obsession about watches, expensive watches from the West, expensive cars from the West, expensive suits from Italy or Milan or whatever, that needs to stop. If you want to have dignity, if you want to have pride, if you want to have, give the middle finger to colonization, you need to rethink. You need to rethink the culture that you are subscribed to. You need to rethink. There's no better time than now. Now we see how the West looks at indigenous people. We see it in Gaza. We see it in the West, how they treat non-whites. We see it. It's hard not to see it. And we need to stop. We need to give them back their culture and say, keep it. We don't want it. Your culture goes back, 300 years? Thank you. Ours go back thousands of years. This necklace, this design was invented not by Gucci, not by Versace. This was invented thousands of years ago. So, and like, why would I model myself after people who are like, who unalived my ancestors? Why? Why? There's no more insult that I can rub in my ancestors' faces than bowing down to whoever unalived them. So we need to stop this. We need to give them back their Western culture. Give it back to them. Thank you. That obsession with the Roman Empire, like, what good did the Roman Empire ever do to India or Egypt or fill in the blank? Our knowledge. Alexandria, the Library of Alexandria in Egypt, used to be the internet of the world. What did the Romans do? They burned it down 3 times so that they can take that knowledge and, credit Plato, credit Europe for the knowledge they stole from Egypt. They visited these libraries, they were interested in those sciences, and they said, okay, we copied them, now let's burn down the original so that 100 years later we have Plato, we have Pythagoras, we have Isaac Newton, whatever, and yeah. Or else, like, why would Romans burn down the hub of knowledge of the world, the Library of Alexandria, 3 times? It's like they were on a mission. But because that's what they do. Colonizers likes to steal. They steal. So yeah, give them back their culture. Give them back McDonald's. Give them back their jeans. Give them back their t-shirts, their graphic t-shirts. Give it back to them. Give them back their expensive watches. Give them back their expensive cars. Give them back their celebrities, their Western celebrities. Give it back to them. Give them back the Oscars and the Grammys and their music and their books. Give it back to them. If you really know what's what, if you really have dignity, if you really don't want to submit, give it back to them. Reconnect with your own culture. If you're from Tanzania, show it to us. Express your culture. Show it with the books that you read, with the movies you watch, with the languages you speak, with the jewelry you wear, with the food you eat. So, yeah, enough with Europe and European culture. Enough. We've had enough. Innocent children are being genocided because of them. Enough. Whether it's Nazi or Ashkenazi. What's the difference?